Hi guys, welcome to your comp braids tutorial. What you'll need for this tutorial is a comb, a hairbrush, at least 2 hair ties, your comp scrunchies, gel, hairspray and dry shampoo. Step 1 is to center part your hair. So you want to take your comb and use this to find your center part. Guide it from your forehead all the way down to the nape of your neck in a straight line. Then, once you've done that, you want to brush out either side of your hair to make sure there are no pieces crossing the center part, as you can see demonstrated here. Once you've done this, you should have something that looks similar to mine. So a straight line all the way from top to bottom. Step 2 is to gel the part that we've just created. So, get whatever gel you have available to you at home and take about a 50-cent size scoop of it. Rub this between your fingertips and then distribute it evenly down both sides of your part, from your forehead all the way to the nape of your neck. Then take your comb and comb this through, again from your forehead to the nape of your neck. This will reduce the amount of wispies we have to clean up later. Step 3 is the tricky part, starting the braid. Now, I mightn't be the best at explaining this, so bear with me. This is what we know as a Dutch braid, not a French braid. So all hair will be passing underneath and not over the top. So you're going to take a piece of hair from the top of your head on a diagonal, and then you're going to split this into 3 even pieces, just like that. Then you're going to start by taking your first piece of hair and passing it under the middle piece into the center, just like that. The side pieces always move into the center. Then take the piece closest to your center part with a small portion of hair from that same side, again, and pass it into the center. Then do the same on the side closest to your ear. Take that piece with another small portion of hair from that same side and pass it into the middle, just like that. Then you just continue this process the whole way down to the nape of your neck. Key tip is to remember the whole time as you pass a piece into the center to pull it super duper tight. This will make sure the braid is clean and sits snug to the head with no loose bits or wispy bits, which is exactly what we want. So with the risk of confusing you more, I'm just going to explain a little bit further. So as you can see, she's about to take a portion from the part side. Then when she gets that piece, she passes it underneath the middle piece, and then the middle piece comes over to the part side. So essentially what's happening is she'll take a piece from one side, and essentially the center piece and the side piece swap positions. So the side piece always comes into the middle, and then the piece that was in the middle replaces that side piece. So takes it from the ear side now, passes it into the center, that center piece goes over to the ear side, and so on. And that just continues the whole way down. And you can see that she's pulling each piece of hair super tight between each braid section. Now, mums, if you're doing this right, your child will most likely be in pain. I know I was in pain during this process. It's not the funnest thing to have done to you, but the tighter the better. We're doing flips and tricks and whatever on the floor, so it needs to be tight in order for it not to fall out. Hair falling out on a comp floor is just a stress that you don't need. If you're struggling with loose pieces of hair, the easiest thing to do to fix this is to just take your comb and comb the sides inwards towards the braid, and this will put those pieces back in place. And then when you do your next braid piece, you pull it tight again and it should stay put. Throughout the process of the braid, you also want to pull the pieces that you're braiding outwards to fluff them up a bit and give them a bit more volume. We don't want super duper tiny braids, so this helps to give them a bit more oomph and a little bit more volume, so they look better sitting on top of the head. One thing to make this braiding process easier and less fiddly for you as well is to make sure that your hair is a few days old. Usually before a competition, I'll leave my hair for at least 4 days to a whole week to make sure it's super duper dirty and greasy, which I know sounds gross, but it makes it so much easier to braid. If your hair is really, really fresh, you get so many more wispy bits and it's a lot harder to keep the hair tight. So key tip, dirty hair, that's what you want before a comp. Okay, the last leg, we're nearly done our first side. So just continuing that whole process that we've spoken about the whole way down, fluffing out those pieces as we go, making sure that we're pulling the hair super tight. Now, if you get to the bottom of the nape of your neck and you have a whole bunch of hair that still hasn't been incorporated into the braid, you've done it wrong and you need to start again. So just make sure that as you're braiding, you're taking even pieces from both sides so you're not left with a big chunk of hair at the end, or even worse, no hair and your braid ends too far up the head. It needs to end at the nape of your neck because that's where the scrunchies need to be positioned. So making sure all hair is incorporated and just braid it all the way down until you get to this point right here. Okay, so step 4, where we tie our braid and add our scrunchie. Now you think this might be simple, but there are some tips that we can apply. So you want to tie your braid super duper tight. The tighter the better. If you want to add more than one hair elastic, feel free. I just have super thin hair, so one does me. Now when you're tightening the ponytail, you want to pull up and then tighten. Pull up and then tighten. This gives your ponytail, 1, it makes it tighter, 2, it gives it more volume, and volume is what we want. We don't want a limp ponytail, that's never cute. Then you add your scrunchie in, do the same thing, pull up and tighten, and then you're going to fluff out your scrunchie to make it look nice. So step 5 is just to braid and tie and put the scrunchie in the other side of your head. So doing the same thing that we did on the other side, you're going to braid your hair all the way down to the nape of your neck, pulling out pieces as you go to make it look nice and voluminous and give it that oomph that we want, making sure to pull tight, keep the sides nice and clean and straight. We don't want any lumps and bumps. My hair was actually freshly washed this day, so not what you want. You want dirty hair. Remember, the dirtier the better. So braiding all the way down, plumping, tying, lifting and tightening at the same time, then putting in your scrunchie and fluffing it out. Okay, step 6 is the tidy up with our hairspray. So taking your hairspray, you're going to really lather up that side of your head. Be generous. The more hairspray, the better. It reduces the amount of wispies and it'll keep it in all day for comp. So once you've hairsprayed your head, take your comb and comb your hair from your face side up kind of underneath your braid. This is going to tuck any pieces of unwanted hair into your braid so that the hair is nice and close to your head and really super sleek and clean, which is exactly what we want. Super sleek and clean braid. So now just doing the exact same thing that we did on the left hand side, now to the right hand side. So spraying liberally with that hairspray, then taking your comb and combing from the face side to the braid, tucking any unwanted pieces of hair up into the braid. Lots and lots of hairspray. The more hairspray, the merrier. Then this is a good time to do any more plumping and providing more oomph to that braid, which is what we want. Make sure to tuck all those pieces in, get rid of all those wispies. So our last tidying step is to tidy our center part. So taking the exact same things, your comb and your hairspray, you're going to give that center part a really good spray of hairspray. Use your fingers to tidy up the braids. So spray your whole head with hairspray and then use your fingers to kind of position any wispies that you have in towards the braid so it becomes a part of the braid. And then with your comb, just combing from the center part outwards into the braid. Step 8, teasing and volumizing our pigtails. This is my favorite step because I hate a limp pigtail, and this gives us all the volume in the world. So split your pigtail in two, spritz it with some dry shampoo. Now what this is going to do is it's going to provide your hair with some grip. So then when you back comb it, the top part and the bottom part, it's going to make that teasing a lot better, and it's going to keep it in place for a lot longer. So once you've done that and you're happy with the size of your pigtail, give it a spray with hairspray, and that's your first pigtail done. You can already see the difference between my left side and my right side. Big difference. So then you're going to do the exact same on your other pigtail. So split it into two. Then take your dry shampoo, give it a spritz. Then back comb / tease it, top part and bottom part at the root. You don't want to do it in the middle of your pigtail because then it's just going to look like you've hopped out of bed, and that's not the look we're going for. So same thing, comb out the top part to make it look nice and clean, and keep tightening, and then take your hairspray, give it one last spritz, play around with it until you're happy with how it looks, and then you're done. And now you get to admire all your hard work. So this is the final result. Nice voluminous pigtails, big fluffy scrunchies, nice big braids, clean hair, not a lot of wispies. Exactly what we want. So I hope this has given you guys a little bit more guidance and a little bit more help with our comp braids. And I'll see you guys next time for our next tutorial. Bye!